Hello, my name's Mark Potts and I've made this short video as an introduction to my PhD. In 2000 I embarked on a learning journey funded by Teachers International Professional Development, which took me along with several other deputy heads and head teachers from the southwest of England to South Africa. Whilst I was there, I was struck by the economic inequality and also by the optimism of the people in what was a relatively new post-apartheid era. I established a partnership with Nabakazulu School in Durban, Black Township in Durban in South Africa, and I began several transformations in my learning. On my return to the UK, I decided, with the support of my mentor Jack Whitehead, to engage in an educational inquiry with the question, how can I improve the delivery of citizenship education through an international school partnership? Thus began the first transformation in my learning, as I came to recognise that I, as a practising professional, could influence others and make a valid contribution to the academic world through such an inquiry. A second transformation came in my response to what I witnessed in subsequent visits to the South African school, when I met and talked to the students and teaching colleagues about their own lives. I vividly recall the conversations held about their hopes and dreams for their own futures and for the future of their country. There was human tragedy and yet great optimism in the stories that I heard that touched my inner being and urged me to act. These were the first stirrings of what I later recognised as living citizenship. As a result of my visit to the Black Township of a South African school, I was experiencing a concern that my values were not being fully lived in my practice. I formulated a plan and data was gathered to consider how to address this concern. Analysis of the data and reflection on the findings led to actions being taken and the development of a sustained and active relationship between participants at the UK and South African schools. So, through discussion with my supervisor Stephen Coombs, the idea of living citizenship emerged from this action inquiry project, which was carried out over 12 years and studied the intercultural partnership between my own school in Salisbury and a Black Township school in South Africa. So in my PhD, I offer a reconceptualisation of international educational partnerships as a form of living citizenship. Just as through the development of a living educational theory the researcher is active, in the present, and engaged through the research in living out his or her own values more fully, so through living citizenship the participants in the partnership are actively engaged in living out their values more fully through the activities of the partnership. Through this engagement they develop opportunities for living out their values as active citizens. Within this process, we identified transferable pedagogical protocols that both define as well as enable participants to live out their values more fully as active citizens. And these can be applied to other international educational partnerships, implying a new socio-ethical blueprint for planning and implementing international education development projects. Thank you for listening and hope you enjoy the PhD.